are recording a counseling video presentation for Theories of Counseling at Houston Christian University. I will be giving a mock counseling session with Alethea, showcasing techniques of Adlerian theory. So we will begin. Good afternoon. It's good to see you today. How have you been since our last session?
Hi, I've been doing okay, I guess. Just dealing with usual stress from work and dating and some other stuff that's been on my mind.
Sounds like you've been dealing with quite a bit lately. Can you tell me more about what's been weighing on you?
Yeah, it's been a lot to handle. Like, work has been stressful as usual, but I've also been struggling with some personal issues. I've been feeling really anxious lately, especially when it comes to dating.
Okay. Dating can definitely be a source of stress for many people. Can you tell me more about what's been causing your anxiety in dating?
Well, I've been trying to put myself out there and meet new people, but it just feels like every time I try, I end up feeling disappointed or rejected. I worry that I'm not good enough or that I'll never find someone who truly accepts me for who I am.
Sounds like you're feeling a lot of pressure to find a connection with someone, and the fear of rejection seems to be making it difficult for you to relax and be yourself. Have you noticed any patterns in your thoughts or behaviors that seem to contribute to this anxiety?
Yes, I definitely tend to overthink things a lot, especially when it comes to dating. I worry about what the other person thinks of me a lot, um, and I second guess myself constantly. It's like I'm always trying to be perfect to try not to get hurt or to
Yeah,
avoid being hurt. Yeah.
I see. It sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to meet certain expectations, both in your dating life and in other areas. Have you noticed any connections between these feelings of anxiety and experiences from your past?
Yeah, I think so. I've always struggled with feelings of inadequacy and not being good enough, especially when it comes to relationships. I remember feeling like I had to be perfect to be loved, and that's something that stuck with me over the years.
Yeah, it's understandable that those early experiences will still have an impact on you today, especially in your relationships with others. Do you think there are any unresolved issues from your past that might be affecting your current struggles with anxiety and dating?
Yeah, I suppose there might be. I remember feeling blamed and not understood during certain moments in my childhood. Like one time when I got dirty playing outside and my mother hit me, or when I was blamed for my sister's actions and punished for them. It made me feel like I had to be perfect in order to be loved. And I think that's something that's carried over into my adult life.
Yeah, it sounds like those experiences have had a significant impact on your self esteem and your ability to form healthy relationships with others. How do you think they're affecting your current struggles with anxiety and dating?
I can see how those early experiences of feeling blamed and not being understood have shaped my beliefs about myself and my worthiness of love. It's like I'm constantly seeking validation from others because I never learned how to validate myself.
Yeah, it's a powerful realization. By exploring these connections, you can start to make sense of your current struggles and work towards healing and growth. You mentioned earlier that you needed love and acceptance as a child. How do you think that you can start giving that to yourself now as an adult?
I guess I can start by being kinder to myself and acknowledging that I'm worthy of love and acceptance just as I am. It's going to take some time and practice, but I'm definitely willing to try.
That's an awesome start. Remember, I'm here to support you every step of the way.
Thank you. And I've also been struggling with some other reoccurring issues, especially with men.
I'm sorry to hear that. Why don't you talk about that some more?
Okay, so I've been noticing a pattern in my dating life that's been bothering me. I seem to have this tendency to like reject men and find fault with them pretty quickly, even when they haven't even done anything wrong.
That sounds like it's been challenging for you. Can you tell me more about what's been going on in your mind when you find yourself reacting this way?
It's hard to explain, but it's like I'm always looking for reasons to push people away before they have a chance to hurt me. I guess I'm afraid of getting too close and then getting hurt. So I try to find reasons why someone isn't right for me before things go any further.
Okay. Sounds like you're experiencing a lot of fear and insecurity when it comes to relationships. Have you noticed any patterns in your thoughts or behaviors that seem to contribute to this tendency?
Definitely. I tend to be pretty critical of myself and others, especially in relationships. I guess I have this fear of being vulnerable and opening myself up to someone. So I try to find flaws in them as a way of protecting myself.
It's understandable that those feelings would arise. From an Adlerian perspective, we could explore how your childhood experiences have influenced your beliefs and behaviors and relationships. Can you think of any experiences from your past that might be influencing these feelings and behaviors?
Yeah, I remember feeling blamed and not understood during certain moments in my childhood. And I think that's contributed to my fear of rejection and criticism. It's like I'm always expecting people to find fault within me. So I try to find fault within them first.
Hmm. It sounds like those experiences have had a significant impact on your self esteem and your ability to trust others. According to Adlerian theory, we often focus on understanding the goals and motivations behind our behaviors. So, what do you think might be the goal behind your tendency to reject men and find fault with them?
I think the goal is to protect myself from getting hurt. It's like I'm trying to avoid rejection and criticism by rejecting others first.
That's a common defense mechanism. In this form of therapy, we believe that individuals strive for significance and belonging. It seems like your behavior might be a way of protecting your sense of significance by avoiding situations where you might feel rejected or criticized.
That actually makes sense. I never thought about it that way before.
Can you think of any other experiences from your past that might be influencing these feelings and behaviors?
Well, my father was never really around when I was growing up. He was also always busy with work or traveling, and I rarely got to see him. I think his absence made me feel like I wasn't important or worthy of love, and that's carried over into my relationships.
I see. It sounds like your father's absence had a significant impact on your self esteem and your ability to trust others. According to this sort of therapy, we often focus on understanding how our early experiences shape our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. Do you think your relationship with your father has influenced the way that you approach relationships with men?
Oh, absolutely. I think I've always been searching for someone to fill that void left by my father, but at the same time, I'm afraid of getting hurt. Like he hurt me by not being there. So I tend to push people away before they have a chance to let me down.
That's a common response to feeling abandoned or neglected. In our future sessions, maybe we can explore how your relationship with your father continues to influence your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in relationships. And then by gaining insight into these patterns, we can work together to develop healthier coping mechanisms and build more fulfilling connections with others. Attachment theory also suggests that our early relationships with our caregivers, namely your father, can influence your pattern of attachment in adult relationships. Why don't we take some time to explore those experiences together? Can you tell me more about your relationship with your parents when you were growing up? What was it like for you?
Well, my parents divorced when I was about 6 years old. And I remember feeling really confused and upset about it. My dad moved out and I didn't see him as much after that. I think that's when I started feeling like people could just leave me whenever they wanted.
Wow. Sounds like the divorce had a big impact on you. It's understandable that you would feel that way given the circumstances. How do you cope with those feelings of abandonment at the time?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think I just tried to push those feelings down and pretend like everything was okay. But now that I'm older, those feelings are starting to come back up again.
It's common for unresolved feelings from childhood to resurface in adulthood, especially in the context of close relationships. Would you like to explore some strategies for coping with these feelings and building healthier relationships moving forward?
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful. I don't want my past experiences to keep affecting my present and future relationships.
I also think it might be beneficial for you to engage in a homework assignment that aligns with our approach to therapy, our Adlerian approach to therapy. This assignment will focus on gaining insight into your patterns of behavior and developing strategies to address them. Are you open to that idea?
Yes, I'm definitely willing to give it a try. What do you have in mind?
Awesome. Well, I'd like to start by keeping a journal of your thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and all your interactions with men over the next week. Pay attention to any moments where you feel yourself becoming critical or defensive, as well as any patterns you notice in the types of men that you're attracted to, or the reasons you find to push them away.
Okay, I can do that.
Additionally, I would also like you to reflect on your relationship with your father and how it may be influencing your current perceptions and behaviors in relationships. Consider writing a letter to him, expressing your feel expressing your feelings about his absence and how it has impacted you. This exercise can help you gain clarity and closure on those unresolved feelings.
That sounds like it could be really helpful, although it might be difficult.
It's okay if it feels challenging. Remember, this is a process of self discovery and growth, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. We'll discuss your journal entries and the letter in our next session, and we'll work together to explore any insights or emotions that come up for you. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. I'm here to support you every step of the way. Take your time with the assignment, and don't hesitate to reach out if you need any guidance or have any questions. I'm looking forward to our next session.
Awesome. Thank you, doctor.
And that is the end of that.